wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on right now. Ooh, got a cramp in my foot. So, April 15th, supposedly April 15th, we're supposed to be moving. We found a house and I want to talk about it. So we went to our meeting, and as soon as we got to our meeting on Wednesday, we were instantly discouraged. Me and my husband both just looked at each other and were like, this isn't for us. This isn't going to happen. There's too many things I like up against. Well, we ended up, God had other plans. That's how God works. So we were just getting ready to walk up and talk to the people that we had the meeting with and tell them that, it was a lost cause. We were like, we actually did tell them that. We said we weren't interested. We were like, we have a lot of bad background stuff, blah, blah. She looks at me and she's like, I know somebody. I have somebody in my cell phone right now. She's like, I can call them right now and I can get you guys hooked up with the house. She did. We still didn't really, we were just kind of like, whatever. So we're driving home and I got a phone call. And the guy's like, I can meet you at Tim Hortons in like 15 minutes. We did. We met him there. And within 20 minutes, we were already working on locking in a house. So me and my husband are in tears. We're crying because we're just like, God moves so fast when he wants to. He just like moved like that. But we are just kind of like right now, we are packing. We are starting to get things packed up. We're starting like mostly right now decluttering, trying to like get rid of stuff that we don't want to take with us, things like that. The last time I had 2 bathrooms was when I was living with my mom and dad, and that's when I was 22. So yeah, so we just, we'll have access to more freedom and things like that, and the boys will have more freedom, and we won't be in such a... Somebody asked me in my comments why I'm moving. The reason why we're moving is because, and why I'm choosing to move is because of everything I just stated. So we basically just will have a lot more freedom. Where we live now, we live in a very small community, and it's just, it's leased. So we have to follow like a bunch of guidelines and rules here. And since we have a shared community, shared backyard, shared front yard, shared driveways, you just don't get a lot of freedom. There's just like a list. And I have been living in this kind of community now for close to 9.5 years. Not here, but just living in small communities for like 9.5 years. It's just time for our family to move on, and it's time for us to just, it's time to, walk into the next chapter of life. And am I scared, you guys? I am petrified. It's just very, it's intimidating. It is. It's very intimidating. And it's something that I haven't done my whole life. I've never been able to have this kind of situation. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm blessed. But I'm petrified. I'm scared. But God has never left me in any situation. He's never misled my family or me. So I'm just putting my faith. It's making my faith stronger, that's for sure. And my relationship with God stronger. So I'm just putting my faith into this and just going from there. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. It is so windy in the state. Under a severe wind warning right now. Whew. So, yesterday I got the bad news at 7:30 in the morning. My grandpa had been declining for a really long time. Like, this wasn't just something that happened all willy-nilly. Like, we all knew, like, it was going to happen. But it doesn't make it any easier when it actually does happen. So I ended up having to go to work yesterday. And it was probably one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do in my whole life, besides probably getting a divorce. I had to just go to work, act like everything was fine, and just continue on with my life. And I'm really thankful for my job, because at my job, I have the ability to like be by myself. So I could like go hide someplace and just like cry and then just go back. So it wasn't as difficult as it could have been. My grandfather had congestive heart failure, and he got diagnosed with it. I want to say it was a couple of years ago he got diagnosed with it. And basically my mom, my grandma, and my dad, and mostly them, they all tried to really help him and like try to get him back on his feet. No disrespect to my grandfather or anything, but my grandpa was kind of stubborn. So there was a lot of health choices that he was making that didn't align with his health problem. At the end, he tried to like get himself healthy, and he was trying to do things, and the Lord takes us when he wants to, and God's got plans for all of our lives, and that was God's plan for my grandfather's life. So anyways, after that happened, I was worried about my mother and my grandmother. Yesterday was pretty much just like a day of sitting with my parents, doing all that, and just cry. So a glass of wine last night was definitely needed. Not only that, but we've been having some issues on the side with our oldest son. The police were at our house last night because he ended up having a complete manic breakdown. He's been having a lot of breakdowns lately, and they've been getting more and more aggressive. And now we actually have to call the police. We have to call them, and then we also have to contact the crisis unit, and they have to like come out to our house. Somebody come get her. This cat's getting on my freaking nerves. So literally this morning, I got up, as we all do, made my percolator of coffee. Today is my day off, and I only get off Wednesdays and Sundays. So my plan was, I had some other things that I had to do today I wanted to finish up before I head back to work tomorrow. I go upstairs because mom cat was acting kind of funny. And she's been acting weird the past couple of days, so I was like, well, I'm going to go check on the baby, and I'm going to check on her. I go upstairs to look into the box, and the baby is freaking gone. Instant panic sets in. Me and my husband are ripping this house apart. We literally ripped the house apart probably for a good hour and a half, looking every square inch of this house. Closets, dressers, utility room, dry cabinets, the bathroom, the bathtub, you name it. We can't find this kitten. We can't find this kitten anywhere. She's not helping. She's just laying like. So I'm like just about to give up after I had a total breakdown and started bawling my eyes out. This has been the hardest week for me, with my grandfather dying, the cops thingy that happened, you name it. Now this happened. And so I just broke down, started crying. I'm just like in a ball on my son's bedroom floor. I go downstairs to get me a cup of coffee, and as I'm walking up the stairs, I was just about to go up the stairs when we heard this really faint mew. And my husband was like, what was that? And I was like, So we look, and I'm walking up the stairs, and there's this little face under a box. There he is. I grab him. I'm holding him to my chest. So thankful that we found him. He's totally fine. Here's mom. She's like, meow, meow, meow. Act like she's so concerned. The entire time we were ripping this house apart, she was not even looking for the guy. You guys, as of next Tuesday, he'll be 4 weeks old. And I'm saying he because I'm almost like 90% positive it's a male kitten. He'll be 4 weeks old. He's almost the size of a 5-week-old. Teeth are coming in perfectly. And I just kept playing that in my head. I'm like, why would you do all this work with your baby, and then right as it's about to get weaned and right as it's about to start its own little life, you're just gonna like squash the kitty and just get... Anyways, so that happened this morning. So now she's quarantined. We're keeping her in the master bedroom with her baby. She is not allowed to leave that room until I see fit, until I know that the kitten is safe on its own. I'm done, you guys. The end of March has been so full of drama, you guys. It's been nothing but drama every single freaking day.
Everything that happens is motivation. Everything that happens is motivation.
I think it's like just my place of work, because as soon as I pulled in the parking lot, my phone's dropping out of my hand. So, today is another day of work. It is almost 40 degrees today. I'm so happy. And we had something scary happen last night. So around, I want to say it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I went upstairs to go check on Wendy and the baby, like I always do. Here's something on my camera. And I went to go check, and I noticed that Wendy didn't look good. Like, she just looked kind of sick. She gets out of the box, and she was trying to drink some water, but she was moving really slow. She wasn't really being herself. She kind of just kept staring at me. And anybody that watches my vlogs knows that Wendy is a talker. She wasn't doing any of that crap. Like, she wasn't greeting me. She wasn't doing nothing. So all of a sudden, she kind of just like looks at me, and then she went to go lay down by her box, like on the outside of the box, and she laid on the floor, and she literally just goes like this. And her head just goes back, eyes completely dilated, and literally thought she was dying right in front of me. Then her head started going like this. It literally looked like she was having a seizure. I go in panic mode. This was after the whole kitten scenario. So we couldn't really figure out what the hell was going on with her, but all I knew is that I had to watch out for the kitten. So I ended up running to the nearest grocery store. I grabbed a can of kitten formula. I got a bottle. I ended up getting stuff because me and my husband both, we were pretty much convinced that Wendy was going to pass away last. One of my coworkers is like literally parked right in front of me, and she's constantly doing this all the time. So I was like preparing myself for the worst, and then nothing happened. She was completely fine. She went back to her normal self. Me and my mom are starting to suspect that she's epileptic. You're starting to wonder if that like is a problem with her, and also we're starting to wonder if maybe like the miscarriages that she had maybe poisoned her somehow and they made her sick. So I don't know. So that happened last night, but she's fine now. She is completely fine. But that's yesterday. It was insane. Off to work.
I miss that energy.
You and me both. As Logan's depleting. I miss that energy. There we go. There he goes again. He's not even going the right way. Where is he going? He's not even doing it right. Oh my god, that's all the old flooring in our kitchen because we have to. And he's got to take these little pieces of tape off with a razor blade. Oh, great. I debated in my mind whether I wanted to upload this video today or if I wanted to wait until Sunday night, but it doesn't really technically make much of a difference. So this is pretty much the last day of March, because after this we only have like, what, 4 days left. Lately, I've been using my Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation, but it says it's a foundation and a concealer, and they're not kidding. Let me show you something. See these dark circles under my eyes? Like, I have naturally freckled skin. This is PMDD. PMDD. This is flare breakouts. Okay, watch this. I use about 2 drops on my hand. I like to use a foundation brush. I don't use sponges. I don't like sponges because they hold product in it and then you put it on your face. You have to wash them all the time, but I don't really think they don't get clean. So I'll use like a tiny amount and I put it here, here, and here, like that. Now that's only one layer. They're gone. The redness is gone. And I work in customer service, so there's no way in God's green earth I like to present myself like this with acne and stuff all over my skin and discoloration. That's only one layer. I guess I probably shouldn't put my face serum on before I did my foundation. I did this off camera. I put a little bit down the center of my nose because it gives my nose more formation. Second layer, because it's that time of the month and my skin is inflamed. So I have to use at least 2 layers of concealer. And I always bring it down. Always remember to bring it down your neck because you'll have a mask. It'll look stupid. Now, I try not to put it all over my face because my skin is already inflamed. So I try to just hit like redness, discoloration, acne, dark circles, stuff like that. But honestly, sometimes when I get done, I'm like, I did my whole face. I'm like, it's pretty much my whole entire face is covered in concealer. I love how it matches my skin almost perfectly. Like it's pretty much my skin tone. I have a lot of redness, like around my forehead. It's horrible. And then I'll use it as like a base on my eyelids for my foundations and stuff. So I'm not doing like a full get ready with me. I don't know, it popped in my head about this. This is really, really good. And I will be purchasing this again. Anyways, I'm about to head off to work. Today is my 11 o'clock shift. I am counting down the days until our big move. We have 18 days left on average right now. I did speak to the landlord last night. He said it's around the 15th. He doesn't know that we've already seen the house and we know what he's doing. So I personally don't think it's gonna be the 15th. I think it might be a little bit longer. The house is ripped apart, like. So anyways, so that's what I'm doing today. Just getting ready for work. Gotta go do my stuff. Put my eyeshadow on and whatnot. But thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing if you did. Thank you for liking my videos if you did. And I hope to speak to y'all again soon.